Okay, we are going to work on our first art piece now. So what we're going to do is, first of all, let's use this little blue dot right here that I'm looking at and click on the eye icon. I'm just pulling my trigger there. I'm just going to turn the sound down here actually, so I don't get that sound. Okay, so now it's going through the tutorial right here. Don't worry about that. What we're going to do is we're going to go up to the little right arrow. I'm hovering my dot over the right arrow. I'm going to pull my trigger, and then I'm going to hover over the right arrow again. I'm going to pull my trigger, and you'll notice there are these leaves. There's a lot of different things you can color with here, but we're going to use these leaves right here. So we're just going to click on the leaves, and you can see I've walked away a little bit from the center of my my grid or my sphere, but that's okay. We're just going to start drawing, and all we're going to do is we're just going to click and pull, and I'm not going to click and pull for a long time. I'm just going to click and pull, and I didn't do a very good job with that one. I'm just going to erase that one actually, and all I'm going to do is draw these leaves kind of swirling. I'm just clicking and pulling, and some of them I'm drawing better than others. Just clicking and pulling, and when I get around to where I'm about to touch this other one, I'm going to click and pull just above, and I'm just clicking and pulling, and I'm just rotating around here, and all I'm doing is just sort of creating I guess it's going to look like a bit of a whirlwind pattern here. So I'm just pulling up more, and I'm just continuing to circle, and every time I'm circling, I'm just getting a little bit higher. Don't worry if some leaves are bigger than others, that doesn't matter. Continuing up till we get to, oh, that leaf was quite big. Let's just erase that one just for practice. That one and that one, there we go. And let's redraw these ones here. Okay, now I've got to the point where I'm like, okay, that's pretty good right about there. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to go in the direction I'm pointing. You can see that way right there. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be walking and drawing at the same time. And I'm going to draw some leaves in that direction. So it looks like the leaves are kind of coming into this swirl here. So to do that, I'm going to go up to the little eye icon right there. And I am going to go down to the walk and draw. And I'll just sort of see if I can, I don't know if I can pull this up. Oh, there we go. Okay. You can see there's the person walking and then the little paintbrush. I'm going to click on that. And then now, as I walk, you can see I'm just going to pull my trigger every time I'm walking. And just pulling my trigger here. And I'm not doing the best leaves in the world, but that's okay. We're just practicing. You can do these any which way you want. You can do some low, you can do some high, coming out like this. And as you actually proceed along, you usually get a little bit bigger there. I'm just kind of pulling and dragging. Okay, I don't want those tutorials popping up. I'm just going to pull and drag real quick. And I'm just going to keep going here. Almost done. Just about. And I'm going to stop right there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on the walk icon, that little person right there. And I'm just going to pull my trigger and walk forward. And it's going to turn around. Kind of cool. I mean, my leaves are a bit... they're not, I don't think I drew the leaves the best, but you get the idea. The leaves, as you practice this, you'll get better and better at it. Now, you can see what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn around and look the opposite direction. I'm just going to walk a little bit more forward. And you can see right here, I'm just going to turn around and walk a tiny bit more forward. There we go. Right here, I want to draw, look at it's coming out of kind of like a, I don't know, sort of a rainbow warp or something like that. So it kind of looks like the leaves are proceeding out and going into a whirlwind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the eye icon again. Just going to click once. And I'm going to click on the little rainbow. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to circle and draw a rainbow that comes around. Now I don't think I'm drawing the best circle in the world, but that's okay. Just practicing. And I'm just going to draw that around. And I can make it, whatever size I want. Don't worry about these extra little leaves hanging out on the side. It doesn't really matter. We're just sort of practicing. And then I'm going to kind of make that. I don't like that one on the end. I'm going to erase that one there and erase that one there. Okay, and one more thing. I'm just going to add a little bit of get rid of that tutorial again right there. I'm going to add a little bit of animation. So I'm going to click on the back arrow. Sorry, I'll go over this way so you can see better. Click on that back arrow, and I'm going to add a little bit of that smoky kind of purple is kind of neat color. So let's try that. And I'm just going to kind of draw that around. That's a pretty neat effect. Draw it around and I'm doing it. Okay, now it feels weird, like if your controller's not really it's not really tracking the way you want, you can always tap down on the very bottom button and that will reset. You can see it resets my controller, and that's the very bottom button there. So if you feel like it's not really tracking correctly, you can always do that. There we go. Kind of cool. All right, let's check this out. So I'm going to click on the little walk icon. I'm just going to walk through, and you can see kind of following my leaf pattern here. Some of the leaves are pretty crazy looking. And then I come into the center here of my leaf whirlwind. So I can stand in the center, I can turn back, and you can see where all those leaves came from, way down there. Kind of cool. And of course you could draw something on the bottom down here. You can add some other pieces on, but kind of a neat first little art piece. Okay, hopefully this has been an interesting tutorial for you, and why don't you give it a try.